Tom's with me, Tom Sharpe, who served as Royal Navy officer for 27 years, senior advisor to Corvis. He's with me. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Let's talk about mining. What's being put in the water?
I need to see confirmed that mines have gone in the water. There may be confusion here over pre-positioning of mines. The Iranians have 5,000 roughly in their stockpile. They have a raft of converted fishing boats that look exactly like fishing boats. They open the barrels, there's a rail, and the mines go in the water. So they can deploy these things very quickly, but they have to get them in position.
Right, so what are these mines?
Well, I mean, think World War II horned mines, a lot of them. Literally metal spheres bobbing in the water with contact horns.
Really?
Now, they range from there, that free float, to moored versions of that, to some quite sophisticated ones of Russian origin and Chinese origin. Obviously, they're more difficult to move around without being detected.
And are they, sorry, this is a naive question, but are they as serious a threat as they sound?
Yes, and the problem with mines is that sometimes you don't even need to lay them. Today may be a case study of saying you've laid them, and it has the same effect. But the reality is they will hold you below the waterline, and unless you're a warship with lots of watertight compartments, you could get serious damage as a result.
So what would you do?
Well, you've got to go in and clear them, and that takes a long time. And like everything else in the Straits of Hormuz, in order to get in there to clear the mine threat, you've got to create the conditions, and that involves taking down their other threats, surface and air threats. All
right, now let's talk about this. So let's have a map of this Strait of Hormuz, if we may, and we can talk about it as we go through it. We know this is the chokehold. We know that nothing's moving. We know it's geographically very difficult and that there are ships now at anchor and stranded on either side. This idea of escorting through, is it realistic?
It all depends on the threat. I mean, I know this is a sort of how long is a piece of string question, so there's not a satisfactory answer to it. If you can write down the threat in the air, surface and subsurface domain to an extent where you're content to go in and take that risk, then yes, it is. If you can't, then you have to go in very heavy, and then it stops being sustainable and you can't do it for long.
Right, but the chief executive of Maersk earlier on this programme says, listen, I don't care what guarantees, I don't care what insurance or escorting, I'm not putting my men and women at risk on my container ships because it's just not, it's not on.
And I think that's critical. The military will go, well, we've cleared it. Well, OK, fine, that's only part of the equation. You've then got to convince the entire community that it is cleared to their satisfaction. And we know from the Bab el-Mandeb and the Houthi threat, which was not dissimilar, that can be a discrepancy between those two things.
The ships that are going there, let's just talk about the Royal Navy, if I may, since we're in London and you are a former officer in that. I'm just reading your article that you wrote, or your blog article, and your article that you wrote in Telegraph. Is it really that bad that there are no ships? The Prince of Wales is goodness knows what. There's no frigates. A couple of, I mean, is it really that bad?
I'm afraid it is. This is 30 years of decline, and of course it doesn't play out at a moment of your choosing. In fact, it plays out at the worst possible moment, and here it is.
So when the magazine, the Paris Match, the French magazine, the political editor wrote, with no ships to accompany it, the British forces may have to ask France for help. What if Napoleon sounded defeated in 1805 to get his revenge 220 years later?
The French are never backwards in coming forwards when it comes to exploiting these, and we've done it as well. It works both ways, particularly at the political level, where the jockeying can sometimes get a bit sort of difficult. But in this case, they're right to do so. You know, they're protecting our sovereign base in Cyprus until HMS Dragon gets there. If we send the carrier, then we have to allocate Dragon to the carrier. I mean, that's sort of allied effort.
But how did it get it so wrong?
Yeah, well, so it's 30 years, both governments not prioritising defence over welfare, education, NHS, all the things that we know and love and vote for. Defence has never been one of them. And now the opportunity has created itself to reverse that decline, and we're still not taking it.
OK, well, not yet, I know, not with the NATO increased expenditure. And even if you do, ships are much... The cost of the cost and the length versus planes and infantry is much greater, isn't it? Final thoughts, I just want to get back to the Straits. And we've not only got problems now in the Strait of Hormuz, you've got the Houthis down at the bottom, you've got the Red Sea difficulties, all of which... Yet oil is down at $90 a barrel. But my guess is that the risk is very much on the upside.
Absolutely, and the commodities traders are looking at this minute by minute, looking for answers, looking to predict whether to go, long. And the spike last night, of course, scared everyone. That was immediately sort of appeased by rhetoric out of the White House. I think the general assumption is that the longer this goes on, the more that price goes up and the more it affects us at home. So we need to find a way of clearing it, either by persuasion and diplomacy or by forcing our way in there militarily.
Would you sail through the Strait of Hormuz? As a warship, yes, because that's your job. But as a container ship?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put my crew at that level of risk. Why would you? Why not wait until there's assurances in place that it's safe to do so? At the moment, it's not safe to do so, which is why they're not.
Gosh, I'm very grateful that you came in to talk to us. Good to see you, sir. Thank you very much indeed.